I was going to school, and I was in a private school, and I got 3 Fs, 2 Ds, and got kicked out.
And then you went to, so when did you realize that you had to step up?
Well, when I went to R.M. Bailey, I met my high school. Well, one of the things I can truly say is, and especially for parents out there who have children who are failing, and don't give up, because my parents didn't give up. I think they were willing to send me to another private school, but in 1983, no other private school would accept me then because of my grades. But I went to R.M. Bailey and spent 2 years there. And my high school guidance counselor by the name of Zoe Miller Powell, she was one of those individuals who was like, you have to do better, you have to be, and she kept on encouraging me. And when I graduated from high school in 1985, she said, are you going to college? I was like, I was told by a teacher that I would never be able to attend college. And so she was like, no, you can go to college. And what happened was, she took me on a college tour in 1986, and I went to Bethune-Cookman in August of 1986. And so for the first time in my life, I became, I guess, an academic scholar, because I got on the president's list my first year, and I've never looked back.
His educational challenge did not deter him from fulfilling his dream. Ricardo Deveaux is president of the Bahamas Primary School Student of the Year Foundation.
Well, in 1992, I was a graduate student at Florida, in Florida, at the Nova Southeastern University. And I had an opportunity to be a part of the Florida College Student of the Year Awards program. And so I thought when I came back home, it would be a good idea to have some program like this in the Bahamas. Well, I came back home, and I became the president of the Fraternity Council, the National Pan-Atlantic Council of all the fraternities and sororities, and I presented the idea to them. Now, the one interesting aspect was all of our respective organizations, all of the fraternities, the sororities, they were dealing with high school students. But we had 4 educators who at that time was working on the council, said no one is doing anything for primary school students. And so the idea of incorporating the Student of the Year then went to dealing with primary school students. At that time, I was working at the Ministry of Education, and Dame Ivy Dumont was the Minister of Education, so I went and I presented the idea to her, and she thought it was an excellent idea. And so here we are 17 years later, honoring over 1,600 students, the Bahamas Primary School Student Years.
What has been your driving force behind all of this?
Well, I guess for me, a quote that I saw about 25 years ago, it said that in 100 years it will not matter how many degrees I had, how much money I had in the bank, what type of clothes I wore, what type of car I drove, if I didn't make a difference in the life of a child. And so from then I've always been, I guess, passionate about doing something that benefits younger people. And I think no better way to give persons their start than in primary school.
He has been at this for 17 years now, and yes, the years have been challenging. Nevertheless, he remains committed.
Persons see the organization and they say, wow, y'all have a great success, because in our 17 years, we have been able to present over $900,000 worth of scholarships and prizes. We have been able to open doors for a lot of our primary school students who you now see in our community who are making a great stride. But yeah, we have challenges. One of the challenges is that a lot of people like to see the success of things, but putting it together is really the hard part. And so you have persons who would say they volunteer to assist you, but they really don't. And so again, you have the challenges that we have faced in the organization is that they'll say the laborers are plenty, but the workers are few. And so that is part of our challenge.
You are a father, husband, full-time job,
yes,
and still find the time to do what you're doing?
Well, I must say that the one thing that has really assisted me in being able to do this is that I have an extremely supportive wife. I have extremely supportive children who allow me to be my passion. And so they are along with me, making this dream work for thousands of young people. And so I think that is one of the things that I figured that this is my community service. This is my fraternal, because I'm a part of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and we do community service. So this is a part of my fraternal commitment to my organization, because it's my organization is involved in this effort. And so I think this is a part of me giving back to my community. Well, there are times when I got so frustrated to say, well, it isn't worth it. But one of the things that I guess have made me realize is that it wasn't about me, because when I could look at some of the students who have passed through my program, when I look at a Vashti Darlin, who in 1997 was a primary school student at St. John's, today is a medical doctor. When I could look at an Andrea Mutri and Keenan Johnson, who was in the part of the 1998 awards program, and they are now they're lawyers. And then when I think about persons like Stantisha Forbes, who was in the program in 1999, and today she's an educator, it pushes me to say, I have some more work at least to do to assist in benefiting some other young people.
While doors may be slow in opening financially, Ricardo Deveaux calls on an inner strength that allows him to go beyond.
This has been one of a very interesting year, because so many doors, so many financial doors were closed in our face. We had, I'm grateful to the team of officers that I have, because it was like at the beginning of the year, we were getting like, okay, we are not supporting this year, or we can't do it this year. And doors were just closing. But I guess for me, I'm grateful, because I am a great believer that God opens doors. And so when one door was closed, another 2 doors were open. And so this year, believe it or not, in a year when we had so many closed doors, we will be able to offer $91,000 in scholarships to primary school students. $91,000.
This year?
This year alone.
And we have often heard time and time again that the sky is the limit. And that is exactly what this program helps students believe.
But we are just not looking for the child who has a 4.0. We're looking for the child who's done well academically, but also they're doing good things socially. In the community, they're community activists, even at primary school. They're involved in leadership. They're head boys, head girls at their school. We're looking for persons who are involved in Girl Guides or Scouts and Junior Red Cross. We're looking for that person, that well-rounded child. And so not just because you're smart, we're looking for that well-rounded child.
Well, you've placed your mark in the educational system by establishing this organization. What is next for Ricardo Deveaux?
I've been asked that question a whole lot, and I don't know yet. I'm still looking, because persons, I've done this now going on 18 years, and of course I'm looking to train a next set of leaders to take over, because within the next 2 years I'm hoping to be able to step down and just be in an advisory role if they want me to. And so I'm preparing myself for that. In 2 years I'll be stepping down, and so I'm looking forward, I guess, for me, whatever the next phase or next chapter, it will be assisting again, because for me, one of the things that I think is very important is that you have to reach back and give and assist those who have assisted you. Someone lifted me up, because I came from an environment where I was a broken child in terms of academically, but I had persons, and I had parents, and I had persons like my high school guidance counselor who continued to push me. And so I guess that's why I'm in a mode of continuing to uplift people.
Okay, anything in closing?
Well, just that I'd like to encourage our young people, no matter what you may think, the situation may look bad, there's always hope. And so you can become whatever you want to. And persons always say that, but I truly believe that